Alright, what's up guys, Shogi here, and looks like another Let's Play episode, who would have thought, and Lamar, who's my sister's boyfriend, of course, if you watched my little group commentary over some Homefront gameplay, I think that was a week or 2 weeks ago, well, he was over, and he basically stayed up all night playing Call of Duty 4, made a whole bunch of progress, and I basically got to choose whatever mission I wanted to play, addressing Uncle Ruckus, a.k.a. Papa Ruckus. I don't know, it's a little joke between us, I guess. But he commented on my last video telling me to choose a different mission. But at that point, I only had like 4 missions unlocked, and I just wanted to progress through the story. But thanks to Lamar, I have basically the whole game beaten. So what you're going to notice in this video when you're watching it is a few different effects that I've added throughout the video. Those are just a couple of like the visions and like kill feed outlines, or where I can put my name. I know is right here at about a minute. Just little effects that I downloaded in a GFX pack. I don't know if I think I might have mentioned that last commentary where I downloaded a GFX pack or graphics pack with effects that you can add on to your montage. And I'm going to talk about a montage that I'm planning on starting later in this commentary. And you might be wondering, how are you going to start a montage if you can't play online? Well, just stay tuned. And a couple stories that I wanted to talk about today were, in quotes, my Naruto Saga. Alright, so I used to be interested in the Naruto card game. I played that for about 2.5 years. I don't know if any of you guys ever played card games, ever got into them. But Naruto is basically, I guess, my second card game, actually, that I actually got into. When I was about 2.5 years old, I learned how to play Pokemon. My brother taught me. Sat down in his room, and he had like a starter deck because he just got involved. And he was teaching himself Japanese at the time, and he had like some Japanese cards, and he had like the ultimate deck that I couldn't beat until I was like 5 years old, and I had finally made a deck that I could win like 1 out of 3 times or whatever. I don't even remember. It was like a water fighting ground. I don't even remember. But Naruto. I think I was in 4th grade, and I had $30 saved up, all in change, of course, and I had it all in a Gatorade bottle with pink paper around it, because it was my piggy bank. And my dad really likes comics, Batman, Daredevil are his favorites, and ever since I was like 3, we'd go to a store that's local called Comic Carnival. No, there's a few in Indiana, and I'd always spend every penny I got on Pokemon cards. And at that point, I think that was just after I was really kind of getting bored with Pokemon. And then I saw a new card game was there, and it was called Naruto, and I knew it was a TV show, but I never really watched it because my bedtime at that point I think was 8 or 8:30, and it was usually on around 9, I think it was 8 or 9. I just never had time to watch a full episode. And the starter decks were there. There were 2 different starter decks. I got it was the Path to Hokage starter decks, if anyone even knows what I'm talking about at this point. And I bought one of the Naruto starter decks and one of the Sasuke starter decks, and I took them home, and I read like. At that point, it was a 40-page rulebook. Now, when I quit, it was about a 60-page rulebook. And I was, 10 years old, and I started going to tournaments. I found more out about the card game, got online, found out that Comic Carnival had found a couple of Majins, or I think is what they call them in Naruto, and judges. And I started going to tournaments. I didn't start out too well. My first tournament was actually in Lafayette, before Comic Carnival started offering tournaments. I left early from church, and we drove up to Lafayette, which is like 2 hours away, and I played a tournament. Only 3 people showed up. I was one of the 3, and of course I got last place, being my my first tournament. But they did top 4 prizes, and since there were only 3 people there, of course I get a prize. Since first and second place didn't, first place usually gets a mat, or like a mat and a few packs, but you get less packs if you get a mat with it. And, of course, they had already gone there because that was their local shop. And neither of them wanted a mat because they already had it, I guess. They'd get new mats that, you put it down on the table and you put your cards on it and play on it. And they chose to get packs over the mat. And I ended up getting my first mat. And then from there on, I was really interested in the card game. Comic Carnival started offering tournaments there. And I'm going to go ahead and leave a break in this commentary to go eat dinner. And you won't be able to tell because I'm just going to start back up. Alright, so I think I was talking about my first tournament, and I just got a mat, and then from there on, I became good friends with a lot of people. Came to Comic Carnival every Wednesday to play not Call of Duty, but Naruto Wednesdays at 5 till whenever it ended. And then I went to Nationals my second year playing. I think like 125 people play. Gen Con Indianapolis, of course. Really conveniently located for that. And I think I got like 60th as a 10-year-old at Nationals. Most people there are at least 18. Met a few people there that are really cool. And I think I went to Nationals the next year and got like, let's see, like 40th, or is in between 40 and 60. Everyone above 40 is an absolute I don't want to say no life, because some of those people are really cool and actually have lives, but they spend a lot of their time just looking at card game cards and such. And I'm at about 6 minutes, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up, so I've got a bit more to talk about. But I ended up quitting Naruto the next year, going into 7th grade. So that was about 3 years of playing, because I had church on Wednesday nights, youth group. Once I got into junior high at my church, we'd always play games and do stuff on Wednesdays. That's fine by me. I'd probably spent a good couple $1,000s over those 3 years just buying cards, and I ended up selling all my cards except for my deck. Still have my deck and a couple other cards that I found in my house, kind of as a memorabilia, as a keepsake. And I sold all the cards, which gave me enough money, which gave me like $200, and I ended up spending that money buying a controller, Modern Warfare 2, then became friends with Shamu, Silver, and then I had a couple bucks left over, and then I eventually saved up, sold my laptop, and got my PVR, and that's where I am today. So I don't really have enough time to talk about a couple other things that I wanted to, but I will talk about the montage that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to be starting a montage. It's going to be called Veteran, and the reason for that is, for those of you who didn't know, you can basically set up a combat training on split screen. Just go enable enemies on the options, and you can choose their difficulty. And what I'm going to do, if you guys don't mind, is I'm going to play by myself on split screen and crank up the difficulty to Veteran, so it's just as hard to get clips. And I'm going to see if I can get clips and start up a montage for you guys called Veteran. And I know I was talking about how I'm testing out effects in this video, and those are potential, like, I don't know, lock-on things, only I'll make them fancier, like zoom in, cool things that you might not be imagining right now. But that's that, a Veteran combat training montage, just because PSN isn't up. Hopefully they'll get that back up soon. But if I'm not mistaken, this is about the end of the gameplay. So that's that. The other topic I was going to talk about was just me playing Guitar Hero. I grew up playing like the Pokemon video games as well. My brother had the original Game Boy. My brother and sister also had Game Boy Colors, and I grew up. I think my first Game Boy was the Game Boy Color. Then I got the Game Boy Advance. Moved into the SP. Then got the SP that had the backlight screen and stuff. And then I got the DS and stuff, everything. And I'm up to the DSi, but I don't really play that very often anymore because, you know, I got a PS3. And I was just going to talk about how I got Guitar Hero was like my main console game at first. I was like the first game I ever really played on console. Ended up beating Guitar Hero 1 on Expert when I was 9 years old. But I didn't really want to keep you guys that long. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this second episode. And lastly, I just want to say sorry if I kind of sounded a little bit sleepy on that second episode. That's because it had been a long day. Played a whole bunch of tennis. And that's about it. This has been Nice Shogi. I'll see you guys later. Peace, guys.